Chapter 1. The Jerusalem Peasant Movement. Imagine this. It's around 30 AD in the bustling markets of Jerusalem, right after a certain carpenter from Nazareth turned the world upside down. A ragtag group of Jewish fishermen, tax collectors, and zealots are huddling in upper rooms, sharing bread and radical ideas about a kingdom not of this world. No cathedrals, no thrones, just a peasant movement preaching equality before God. Leading them? A fiery fisherman named Simon, renamed Peter, the Rock. But fast forward a couple of centuries, and that same rock has supposedly become the foundation for something very different. A powerful institution in Rome, with emperors bowing, gold, and a claim of unbroken succession. How did we get from humble Jewish house churches to a Roman-style hierarchy? Buckle up, because this story might make you question everything you thought you knew about early Christianity.
Wait, Peter? The guy who denied Jesus 3 times and lived like a broke traveler? He's the origin of popes in fancy robes?
Exactly why it doesn't add up. Chapter 2. Peter the Elder, not Pontiff. Let's rewind to the source. Peter, born in Bethsaida around the Sea of Galilee, was no aristocrat. By the 40s AD in Jerusalem, he's preaching boldly in Acts chapter 2. But notice something, he's not issuing papal bulls from a throne. In the famous Jerusalem Council around 48 to 50 AD, right there in the Holy City, it wasn't Peter dropping the final hammer on the Jews versus Gentiles debate. It was James, the brother of Jesus, making the decisive call. Peter speaks, sure, but he's part of a team. And then there's that awkward moment in Antioch, probably around 48 AD. Paul calls Peter out publicly for hypocrisy, basically saying, you're acting two-faced with the Gentile believers. No, infallible vibe there. Peter lived as one of the brothers, persecuted, often broke, rejecting worldly power. As he himself wrote in his first letter, around 60 AD from somewhere in the East, I appeal as a fellow elder, not supreme pontiff. Chapter 3. The Fisherman in Rome. Tradition says Peter made it to Rome and was martyred there around 64 to 68 AD during Nero's bloody purge after the Great Fire. Crucified upside down, according to later stories, on Vatican Hill. Humble to the end. No evidence he set up a bishopric with successors waiting in line. The early church? Scattered house groups across the empire. Jerusalem, Antioch, Ephesus, Corinth. Mostly Jewish at first, egalitarian, focused on teaching and breaking bread. No central HQ.
Hold on. So no one was wearing a mitre and claiming Peter's keys in the 1st century?
Chapter 4. Irenaeus of Lyon. If they were, someone forgot to tell the Romans busy feeding Christians to lions. The real shift starts later. Enter our main character, Irenaeus, born around 1/3 to 140 AD in Smyrna, Asia Minor, modern Izmir, Turkey. Greek-speaking, not Roman by birth. He studied under Polycarp, who knew the Apostle John. By 177 AD, he's a priest in Lugdunum, that's Lyon, in Gaul, modern France. Persecution hits hard under Marcus Aurelius. Irenaeus travels to Rome on church business in 177 to 178 AD, and around 180 AD, back in Lyon, he writes his blockbuster, Against Heresies. 5 volumes slamming Gnostics and other groups peddling secret knowledge.
180 AD in Lyon. That's a long way from Peter's fishing nets. What exactly did he say?
Here's where it gets spicy. Irenaeus claims the Church of Rome has preeminent authority because it was founded by Peter and Paul. He lists a succession of bishops from Peter down to his day, Linus, Anacletus, Clement, and so on. All churches, he says, must agree with Rome. On paper, it's about fighting heresy, unite under apostolic tradition. Solid plan, right? But let's apply some logic, as one sharp observer might. If your goal is purely spiritual, protecting a simple faith movement, why build your solution on elevating one city, the empire's capital, into the ultimate referee? Why create a chain of command that looks suspiciously like Roman governance? Chapter 5. The Imperial Rebrand. By the time Irenaeus is writing in Lyon, the church is changing. Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 AD by Titus's legions. That gutted the Jewish Christian center. More Gentiles join. Wealthier converts appear. And Rome, with its martyrs Peter and Paul, becomes the prestige address. It's the ultimate rebrand. From blessed are the poor to blessed are the well-connected in the imperial city. The road to hell, as they say, is paved with good intentions. But was it just good intentions? Irenaeus insists he's preserving truth. Yet the fruit? A system where by the 4th century, bishops wear Roman senatorial robes, churches become basilicas, and power flows from the top down. Jump to 313 AD. Constantine's Edict of Milan. Christianity goes legal. Suddenly, the church that started in peasant homes is rubbing shoulders with emperors. By 325 AD at Nicaea, Rome's voice carries weight. Pope Leo I, in the 440s AD, doubles down on Petrine primacy. The transformation is complete, from Jewish egalitarian movement to something resembling a Roman oligarchy. Chapter 6. The Fisherman's True Legacy.
But why Rome specifically? And wasn't Irenaeus just trying to stop crazy Gnostic ideas from taking over?
Fair question. Gnostics were a problem. Wild myths about secret knowledge, demiurges, the works. Irenaeus, writing from Lyon but informed by his Roman visit, saw fragmentation as deadly. Central authority makes sense on paper for unity. But here's the rub. His claims about Peter's Roman succession are retrospective. No 1st century document says Peter appointed a bishop of Rome as his heir. The monarchical bishop, one top dog per city, only solidifies in the 2nd century. Irenaeus is helping invent the narrative that justifies it. Think about the optics. Peter rejected silver and gold. He lived as a persecuted peasant. The later Roman Church? Influential, wealthy, adopting titles like Pontifex Maximus, borrowed straight from pagan emperors. It's like turning a revolutionary commune into a Fortune 500 company with the founder's face on the logo.
Whoa, so Irenaeus might have been playing politics while claiming spirituality. That's convenient.
Exactly. Judge the tree by its fruit, as Jesus said. The early church in Jerusalem and Galilee shared leadership, no class system, focused on the marginalized. Post-Irenaeus trajectory. Hierarchy, influence with the powerful, a Gentile-dominated institution centered in the empire's heart. By 200 AD, when Irenaeus dies in Lyon, the seeds are planted. Constantine waters them in the 300s. The papacy blooms. Is this conspiracy? Not quite. History is messy. Good men in bad systems, cultural osmosis. But the logic holds. When your anti-heresy fix creates a power structure foreign to the founder's life, it's worth asking if agenda crept in. Peter didn't build this. Irenaeus and his successors helped. So next time you see the grand claims of succession, remember the fisherman from Galilee who wanted no part of worldly thrones. The real rock might be simpler than the empire built on it. What do you think? Spiritual evolution or clever power play?
I'm curious and a little suspicious now.
History often is. Thanks for watching. Hit like if this made you rethink the timeline.